The newly assembled team of Titans is battling threats from beyond the darkest star and in the dark hearts of mankind on Earth. What will happen next? Well, let's hop into the pages of Teen Titans issue number 3 and number 4 as we get all caught up, shall we? Alrighty then, so as we hop into issue 3, and oh man, has it been a while, you'll remember that the Titans have really been up against it recently. A time-traveling Wally West had warned the team about his impending murder, which Cyborg has crunched the numbers should be happening in about 48 hours now. That's all pretty damn bad, but it also gets worse as seemingly Garth, aka Tempest, one of the original Titans members, has fallen in with a brand new cult, the Church of Eternity, which is really just an updated facelift on the old villainous Titans group, the Church of Blood. Tonight, Nightwing and Beast Boy have broken into one of the Church's headquarters to try and get to the bottom of what exactly it is they're doing. You'll remember the group's leader, Brother Eternity, had gone on TV and given everyone the hard sell about how his church wants to make the world a better place for everyone. But as soon as our heroes manage to reach inside the inner sanctum, it looks like they're up to their old Trigun worshipping trick, sacrificing a woman on a big altar in front of a blood pool. And you know what? I hear they don't even pay their taxes either. A massive fight ends up breaking out, one made all the more difficult by the fact that all the cult members jump inside the blood pool and are gifted amazing demonic strength. Normally this sort of superpowered upgrade was meant for the church's higher echelon and leaders, but it seems that they're really sharing the love these days in the new Church of Blood. Now, if they could only help me kickstart my acting career in Hollywood, I might just consider joining. The other Titans end up getting hailed to come and offer support. Wally naturally wants to be the first through the boom tube to help on out, but the rest of the team has to talk him down from it because, again, he's supposed to be dying in 2 days. But we all know that this is the Flash we're talking about, and he's a hero and he's a good guy, and he couldn't possibly just stand by and watch his friends throwing themselves right into the way of danger. He wouldn't be able to live with himself, and hey, if he's got time anyway, he might as well make the most of the time he has. As a united force, the Titans are finally able to wrap up the cultists, but it's right around here things start to get interesting. You see, Tempest ends up walking in during the heat of the battle, and he's as shocked as anyone, implying that he actually had no idea about the whole creepy blood sacrifice thing. It's after that Tempest actually releases Brother Eternity, who it's revealed was actually being kept chained up in a back room. As Brother Eternity tries to explain, this was all the end result of a power struggle within the church itself. Apparently some of the old head members didn't exactly love the more humanitarian direction the group was going in, and they decided it would probably be for the best to get one last Trigun sacrifice in. I mean, organized religion, am I right? The heroes continue not to trust Brother Eternity, but Raven, using her empathetic powers, is able to read Tempest, and it seems that he's believing all of this, and he's certainly not lying to them. Eternity also wants to make sure the blood is depowered so that its amazing properties don't fall into the hands of any government or wrongdoers. Which, you know, certainly doesn't sound like the actions of a villain. Hell, it barely sounds like the actions of a religious leader. Those guys normally love covering up their dark secrets and pretending like they don't happen. Wally still isn't completely convinced though, and even though the team leaves without causing too much of a ruckus, the Flash was sure to search the inner sanctums of the church, and he ends up coming away with a strange otherworldly meteor. It's here all of the different puzzle pieces start to fall into place. The Church of Eternity wants to try and stop natural disasters at a time when they seem to be spiking all over the world. Furthermore, that forest fire in Borneo was started by some sort of alien Tamaranian laser, and now they have this meteorite that might not be a meteorite at all. It might actually be alive. That's pretty crazy, but what happens next definitely takes the cake as Brother Eternity ends up barfing up some sort of tentacle-ish starfish into the mouth of Tempest. Ah, great, we got ourselves an invasion of the body snatchers on our hands. That's exactly what we need. Now, as issue 4 begins, we actually check on in with Beast Boy. It seems that Tempest's words from the last issue about how Earth will probably not be able to survive humanity and that him and the church need to work harder to try and find a way to get as many humans as they can off the planet has really struck a chord with Beast Boy and cut him deeply. So much to the point he is now wondering, as heroes often do, if they're truly doing enough to try and make the world a better place, or if they're only just putting out fires, both literally and metaphorically. Raven comes to Beast Boy and tries to offer a sympathetic ear, as well as taking him out into the field to try and stop 2 letter jacket wearing D-bags from harassing a couple of students, all in an attempt to try and get his mind off everything that's weighing him down currently. Ultimately, Beast Boy does have himself a little epiphany, and he brings a proposal to the rest of the team. If the Titans are basically Earth's biggest super team now trying to fill the void left behind by the Justice League, then they probably should be doing more work with the extra position and power that they've been given. Beast Boy wants to actually lead a reforestation effort in Borneo, and Nightwing thinks that's a particularly great idea. The Flash is also the first to volunteer to try and plant some trees, but mostly he just wants to get out of the tower and away from the kid gloves that everyone is handling him with. His looming death clock has only 24 hours left, and the team figures they better call in a ringer to make sure he stays safe. Yes, that's right, they call the Flash's wife Linda, everybody. And as the comic is sure to tell us, the events of this story actually take place before Cy Spurrier's Flash #1, so if there's any inconsistency, that's why. Now, when the team actually makes it back to Borneo, they're shocked to see a group of heavily armed mercenaries bulldozing houses and rounding up locals. Clearly, they've been paid by some major player to make trouble in this part of the world, so naturally Beast Boy and the rest of the team decide to step right on in and stop them where they stand. Surprise, surprise, it turns out these guys aren't your regular run-of-the-mill shit-kicking mercenaries, they're actually the Demolition Team. Never heard of them? Well, they're a super deep-cut Len Wein creation from 80s Green Lantern. Yeah, I was shocked too. Obviously, I jumped to the conclusion that these guys must be working for Amanda Waller, but in what might be one of the biggest twists ever, turns out they're not. Waller is certainly interested in what the hell the Titans are doing in Borneo, especially as it relates to causing another international incident that she'll no doubt need to clean up. So instead of dispatching Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad, she decides to just let the young teen hero sit in their mess for a while also invoking Dr. Hate, the new evil Dr. Fate character that she got to work for her in a bunch of different backup stories. It's weird, it'll probably make more sense in the next event. Now, while the team is away, Tempest drops in saying that he wanted to apologize to Beast Boy, but in reality, he's just there to spread more of those weird alien tentacle starfish creatures, which may or may not actually be related to the real Starro, too early to tell. Poor Linda ends up getting her body snatched out from under her, and by the time Nightwing and Cyborg make it back to Titan's Tower, no one is any of the wiser. They've decided that they need to get really serious about keeping Flash safe as his clock ticks down, and they figured there's no better way to protect him than to get him off the planet completely. They send him to Mars and the Titans trophy room. Yes, that's right, unlike the Hall of Justice or the Watchtower, the Titans have decided to not keep a bunch of their most dangerous artifacts in their base of operations, where they will no doubt be targeted by supervillains. This means as the comic comes to an end, the Flash is now officially trapped inside this base of operations with his alien-possessed wife and a bunch of WMDs. I'm sure this will end well for everybody. And so that was Titans issue #3 and #4, everybody, and I gotta say I'm happy I had the chance to catch up on this one. Tom Taylor continues to do a great job, giving us new Titans adventures that feel fun, exciting, while also very classic and familiar. I especially like these smaller, more human moments like Raven and Beast Boy just going for a walk around town. I feel like those small, relatable human pieces of team interaction are sorely lost in superhero books these days for some reason. They're also doing a lot of hard work laying the groundwork for Beast World, the next big event. And you know what? Color me interested in that. I like the idea of Beast Boy actually being central to this story, and hey, anytime they dust off the Starro concept, that's always good for me too. Art's really solid too, with some great action choreography. I would give this one another very much deserved 8 out of 10. Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, thanking you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out my Amazon link down in the description. Yes, that's right, the Cape Joel channel officially has its own Amazon storefront now. You can pick up a comic or anything else for that matter, and if you did, you'd really be helping me in the channel. So with that out of the way everyone, I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.